Hi, it's Tom with Digital Foundry taking a look at Mafia 3's new PS4 Pro patch. To cut to the chase, this update 1.05 gives PS4 Pro a resolution boost to 1440p, plus a handful of visual enhancements as well. Curiously, none of this is mentioned at all in the patch notes, it's just the usual bug fixes mentioned there, and actually only by word of mouth did I hear about this one getting support. Again, it's a sign that there really should be clearer signposting for games compatible with Pro hardware. But the good news is that yes, PS4 Pro does bump up the resolution from the 1080p we had on a standard PS4 right up to a native 2560 by 1440. Paired with the game's temporal anti-aliasing, it is a perceptible upgrade for Ultra HD TV users running with 4K output selected. The picture is still a touch on the soft side thanks to the delusion of post effects and that TAA, but ultimately the push to 1440p generates a much clearer picture, and I'm happy with the result. Now, just as importantly, PS4 Pro owners with 1080p screens are catered for as well. Even if you output this console at 1080p, you still get a native 1440p picture downsampled to your full HD set, super sampling the image. Of course, none of this affects the game's many pre-rendered cutscenes which still use the original PS4 assets, but general gameplay looks much better for it, and I'm pleased super sampling makes the cut for 1080p owners. It's nice to know the machine's extra power isn't being wasted here. So what about PS4 Pro's other visual improvements? Well, there are two main changes that stick out from early tests. The first is the improved motion blur. Now, I'll slow this footage down so you can see, this is the standard PS4 where you can see obvious banding artifacts behind lamps and signs, samples of previous frames used to generate the blur effect. It's not too noticeable at full speed, but moving to PS4 Pro, you do get a more precise, cleaner motion blur which blends each frame more elegantly. That's not bad going considering it's one of the game's more demanding settings. Elsewhere, don't go in expecting high grade texture or reflection maps on PS4 Pro. The draw distances for geometry, light and shadows match the original machine, and even vehicle pop-in occurs at a similar distance. But one change I did catch is a boost in shadow quality in darkened scenes. Note spotlight shadows on base PS4 are pixelated at this range, but moving to PS4 Pro, the edges are much smoother. Most scenes don't flag any shadow differences like this, but spotlight shadows show a visible upgrade on Pro hardware. It's a decent showing for Sony's newer machine, but what about the frame rate, and how does PS4 Pro cope at 1440p with high grade effects? Well, for the majority of the time, you'll be getting 30 FPS on patch 1.05 on both machines here. The biggest stress points are in firefights on the outskirts of the city, but driving through the busy centre barely registers more than a few dropped frames. The good news for standard PS4 users is that frame pacing issue is now fixed too, meaning no more erratic stuttering, and evenly paced 30 FPS is finally in place. That translates to the Pro version as well, of course, meaning a perfectly smooth cadence of frames as you scour the city. Sadly, I also tried comparing it against the Xbox One version fully updated, but this version still shows the old frame pacing issue. Even on its latest patch, you get trills between 16.7 milliseconds and 50 milliseconds on the left side graph. Xbox One still feels really off, even in non-intensive scenes. PS4 on the other hand has taken a different direction, and now features an adaptive Vsync, causing full screen tearing whenever a frame can't hit that 33.3 millisecond render time. It's worth noting base PS4 is the only version to have this adaptive Vsync. PS4 Pro runs with regular Vsync, though the tearing only sticks out in really taxing areas. In stress points, you can see what this amounts to when comparing PS4 against PS4 Pro. This outskirts area features foliage, water reflections, volumetric fog, swarms of NPCs and fire effects, giving both consoles a good GPU workout. Matching this run carefully, it's a shame to see PS4 Pro actually drops to lower frame rates, around 28 FPS compared to the original PS4's initial lock at 30 FPS. That sets a worrying precedent, and moving deeper into gang territory, firing a shotgun gives PS4 Pro even more grief, with visible lurches to 26 FPS. Essentially, that combination of native 1440p and alpha-based effects is clearly cutting deeper into PS4 Pro's GPU resources, and you will get bigger performance hits as a result. Meanwhile, base PS4 shows some struggles, but mitigates some of its drops by tearing incomplete frames. The result is a distracting shimmer effect as the tear line runs up and down on a regular PS4, but on balance, it's far more preferable to the frame pacing issues it had at launch. Overall, there's no escaping the fact PS4 Pro users will see more drops with patch 1.05 than the original hardware. It's another case where the Pro version falls short of the targets we'd hoped for when it first launched. But in fairness, for the majority of the time, performance is thankfully stuck to 30 FPS like the regular PS4, and you do get the bonus of 1440p with a few extra enhancements over the top. For my money, that's a bittersweet turnout, but there's no doubt it's a better looking, cleaner game in motion on a 4K screen. Anyway, that's all for now. If you'd like to see more 4K comparisons and frame rate tests like this, please do give us a like or subscribe to support our work. Also, our Patreon page is at digitalfoundry.net, where I've uploaded the original source files to all my videos before uploading to YouTube. That's all from me though, thanks for watching.